convo. You guys, we are now live. Okay.
Okay.
Officially.
Hi, everybody.
All right. Are we looking smooth and sleeky clean?
All right. Hello from the Czech Republic.
Yeah. Hello from the Czech Republic.
And hello from, well, it's pitch black, but the sunny Gold Coast.
Yeah.
What's time on your end? It's like 9 p.m., right?
Yeah, just after 9 p.m. Yeah, it's pitch. You know what? In Australia, especially the state I live in, there's no daylight savings time. So even in summer, the sun goes down really early because it's so backwards, man. The people here are so, oh man, it's annoying.
When you got sunset?
So now it's probably like 6:30, 6:45, somewhere there. I mean, you compare it to Europe in summer, like it's almost our summer here. So
yeah, it's like right now. I actually realized that just recently that in US they don't like change the time. Here in Europe, we change time by 1 hour, and it happened just like a few days ago. And right now, it's like at 4:40 p.m. So there is real dark, and it's crazy.
Yes.
Oh, guys, before I forget, so in this program, the problem with it is if you post a comment, guys, I'm not going to know who said it. So if you post the comment, put your name, because the only people I can see are people who are my friends on Facebook. So if you're not my friend on Facebook, I can't see what you're commenting because there's heaps of people commenting right now and I've got no idea who it is.
Can we see the comments somewhere too?
I can see them. I don't know if you guys can see them. I can see them in the right-hand side.
Sweden.
I thought that it's just. Oh, now I see.
Yeah. So, but just guys, if you want me to know, for the guys to know who you are, just say your name. I know Lyndon. I'm in a prison. Lyndon goes, "Are you in a prison cell?" It's my new office.
I see Lyndon and Lyndon's Facebook user. I see. What's up, guys? Shout out to Sweden.
Yeah, I love Sweden. Been there. Canoeing.
Yes, sir. All right. So if anyone has questions too, I guess that we can answer it straight away. But yeah, we got some topics to cover, but can take it easy.
Yeah. So it's going to be pretty informal, guys. As you can see, the guys have achieved pretty amazing results in e-commerce. Safe to say you'd definitely be in the top 1% of people, I would say, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, you are. You're definitely in the top 1%, especially of, you know, internet entrepreneurs. I mean, there's obviously some big stores on Shopify, like big brands and stuff. So I'm not talking about those guys there, but you guys have done some amazing things. I guess, you know, people are probably interested, you know, first, how did you do it? And then what it's like day to day to run a store of that size. And then, you know, any hiccups and problems that you come along. I know Marek's got some. By the way, how do you pronounce your name, Marek? Is it Marek? Marek?
You can call me Mark.
Mark? Okay, Mark's easier. Mark. Philip is an easy one.
Yeah.
Philip is the one.
Yeah, and Philip is a gun at creating content, especially shooting his own videos, shooting his own imagery. Stop me if I'm saying anything wrong, Philip, and elaborate if you like.
Yeah, director and the Nazi one. Basically in the business.
It's like if when we develop the business, we find out both of us have a certain strength and we complement each other very well. But it doesn't mean we do exclusively only one part of the business. But because my background is in advertising, I used to work in advertising for 20 years. Then I founded my own agency. I'm really heavy on creative and on shooting and developing our own content. And that, of course, helps a lot in drop shipping or, you know.
But I don't think I think that's one of the big keys, right? Like, I mean, if you don't have some of your own content, it's much, much harder.
Yeah, if you advertise with the same material like everybody else, you will be perceived like everybody. You know.
Yeah, and the thing is, I believe like that's like a huge advantage when you have a partner and you're running basically dropshipping business, because especially with me and Philip, we got it like Philip is really the one. Not that I would say that I wouldn't be creative, but in terms of when it comes to content, he really knows what to do with the stuff, with the niche that we're in. And I'm like, let's say on the numbers side of things that I'm taking Facebook ads and like all that shit around. So we really complement, and it makes the whole process sort of like really smooth. And I wouldn't say smooth in terms of that, like this is like one hell of a ride. We have been through so many shit, and since let's say that we didn't got an advices from some 7-figure mentors or something like that. We have been through a lot of shit together, and we've been taught the hard way. Everything done like the hard way. Like we can share even a story from last Q4 where we basically took off this one store for the first time, and we really scaled hard at that point. I think that on Black Friday, Summer Monday, we hit like, I don't know, 7K days, something like that. And everything was going pretty cool. Our profit margin was really insane. And then we got like a notification from Facebook that for copyright infringement, that company the product that we were selling had a patent. And that patent went in play like just recently. And it was a huge shock for us because we were selling that product really well, and that company sort of didn't even know how to advertise it. They were having quite a very good product, but when it comes to advertising, they did really shitty job. So they were probably jealous that we had our own content and that we really knew what we were doing. So we had to shut it off. And then there was another story, and that is we've been basically, I would even call it scammed by supplier, because the thing is that our product was a little bit fragile. That was like a advantage, but the more of a disadvantage is that we've been told that every single order is shipped within 3 days, like processed, you know. And so they gave us tracking numbers, but when we checked those tracking numbers after 3 weeks, they have still been inactive. So now imagine that someone, I don't know, let's say in the middle of November ordered a product, even more products because we had really high AOV, and it arrived like 1 month after Christmas Eve, and when they opened the box, it was cracked. So imagine
it was a real nightmare because if I summarize, of course, the most important thing is you learn from everything, and as like we learn everything the hard way. It was pretty crazy because we discovered this product as one of the first people in the dropshipping market. We tried to
everyone found it.
What's it? Yeah, and then we tried to scale it very hard, which worked because obviously there wasn't so much competition. And because we scaled it very hard, we needed a supplier. We couldn't order item by item anymore on Ali. And we made a big mistake switching to this fulfillment supplier because he couldn't keep his promise, but he hid it from us. And when we found out it was too late, then we got in a lot of trouble. And in addition to that, we went into, what is it called in English? We got checked by PayPal. All our assets were frozen. And basically, it was so far behind on this product that when we were able to restart, the product was already all over the place. Everybody was advertising it, and the chance was gone. But thanks to this product, we discovered our niche.
Yeah.
In this niche, we then expanded and we found other products. And now we're much better established in that niche and not relying on one product and so on.
So guys, if you had your time again, how do you think you would avoid those issues? What would you have done? Because I'm sure that's what people are probably thinking. They're going, if this is me, how can I stop that from happening? Or how can I limit how it might happen?
Switch to, if you're going to hand your business over to a new supplier, switch over gradually. Don't switch your whole volume immediately to the new supplier.
Exactly.
Have another supplier back up, you know. Don't take people for their word, you know.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate, like, because my job prior to doing stuff online was actually, I used to go to China and source products for a big company. That was my job. So it got me a good understanding of Chinese culture and customs. And they would do that even to big companies. Like sometimes we used to order, we're talking like when we would order tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars of stock from these people. And sometimes they would deliver it 6 months late. 6 months. Yeah, like
The
absolutely crazy.
shitty thing about I mean, not shitty, but the hard thing about the Chinese culture is that they're really hungry. And when they see an opportunity, like
Yeah.
that there is someone like us who is scaling hard, and you ask them for some condition, they will tell you yes, literally on everything. But
Yeah.
they act not based on their word, meaning that they tell you yes, the order will be processed and shipped within 2 days with tracking number active. But then it comes to the real action, and you see that they basically don't follow their word. About the suppliers, or if I can add a few things in terms of how to avoid that, I would say, first off, start gradually and don't really bump budgets. When you have a winner, rather really scale gradually. Because, especially me, I'm sort of, Philip called me like a poker player because sometimes
Why is that?
let myself like sort of.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody of you guys play poker, but
I'm basically willing to take huge risks. And so sometimes I let myself, like, let's say, drive my actions by emotions, let's say too much, especially when it comes to scaling. So we scale sometimes too fast. And here is there right now, whenever because there might be guys who have a big budget. And if you have a big budget, you can scale hard, because obviously if you don't have a budget, you can't even scale hard because you need that cash flow. To be fluent. And the thing is, especially when you have a PayPal and another credit card payment gateway, you have two sources of sort of where your cash is coming in, right? And the thing is that you got to pay for Facebook ads, you got to pay for your supplier, you get some fees, and all those transfers cost money and time. So
and that's the way you get. And someone has asked like why these people are so strict, PayPal and whatnot. They're strict when people have an anomaly in their data. All these things are machine driven in the back end of PayPal. So if you go from doing very little sales to like that, then PayPal's going to see that. You know what I mean? Like that's the other issue too.
That's big because their business is not built on you. Their business is built on customers and customer protection. That's their business. So they're in the business of protecting customers' purchases and making sure that if they want a refund, they will get it. They really don't care about you. They care about you as soon as you start to, exactly as Nick said, like as you said, be normal, right? If you have a delay in delivery, if there's a lot of cases, then suddenly the alarm goes off and they will start to check you and they will freeze your assets, and then your cash flow is screwed.
Guys, we have a few questions here, and I'm being a little bit rude and ignoring some of them. People have asked me, will it be a recording? I've never used the current app I'm using. Normally I do have recordings, so I'll see. I think there will be. And there's a few other questions here for you guys as well. They've asked, how long have the guys been in the space, and how long did it take them until they found a successful approach or product?
2 years. Now, 1.5 years. 2 years.
I've been, to be honest, I've been in Ecom like for a long time. I had a business here in Czech, like several businesses, like watches, iPhone cases, like a lot of stuff. And so I really learned a lot that way. I made some money here and there. I had a clothing line. I had a pretty good brand with my one friend of mine selling watches, which really sort of learned us, or we learned a lot by doing that locally. We learned a lot in Facebook ads, and with this store, I guess it's since August, something like that.
Awesome.
And for me, it's like transition from classic advertising into digital. So I've been doing this for 25 years. So
I guess that, you would have carried a lot of concepts through there, though. Like there was a lot of things you would have learned in traditional advertising that still carry across in the digital space. So it would have been a good foundation.
The thing is that people think like, and that's probably, I believe that's like a biggest mistake that people make when they think in terms of dropshipping. They feel like they can start with $500 or $1,000 with zero business experience and can make $100,000 in 1 or 2 months.
Let's be honest. Most people are gambling when they're talking about dropshipping. Most people treat it like it's gambling. That's what most people do.
And this is what I always, when I see people believe that they can start drop shipping with $3,000, it's possible, you know. But when I approach drop shipping, for me, it's a business like any other business. And as a matter of fact, drop shipping is for me only the entry model, because as you evolve within the model, you will want to have your own stock, right? Because you don't want to be dependent on availability or stock levels of suppliers. So actually, you transition from drop shipping into real business with real stock as the model evolves, right?
And you can control your own quality as well. You know, quality control is a huge part of any business. Yeah. And if you can't control that to any degree, then you're leaving a lot up to chance, and it's not good.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, when I approach this as a potential business, I really make sure I have a much more than usual people would guess capital on me to make sure the cash flow is big enough, to make sure we can compensate downtimes for rolling reserves. For PayPal froze our assets for 1 month in November, and we were so screwed, right? But at least,
exactly. So when I started, I left, when I first left my job, I had already started stores. I had income coming from a few different places, but I left a $130,000 a year job. So what people would call a pretty good job. You know, I had a good job. I left that, and I left with like maybe 80 or 90,000 in cash to start something. You know what I mean? Like I had cash. I didn't leave with nothing. You know what I mean? Like it was, when I transitioned, I made sure I had it. I'm probably a bit too conservative. I'm more conservative than most, not like Mark.
Really? Because we don't know the numbers, how deep you went in your capital until your curve went up again, right?
Exactly. My problem was I also had a mortgage too. So I had a house that I needed to have money to pay for that as well. You know, so if I didn't have that, and if everything else fell apart, then at least then, you know, I had money coming from shares, I had dividends, I had online stores, I was running consulting, digital advertising. Like there was a lot of different things I was doing. So, but yeah, like you need some safety net at the same time. Most people need a safety net.
Yeah.
So I'll give you guys just example. I have a client right now. This guy is like from Sweden. He's like 23. And when he approached me, I think 3 months ago, something like that. And he had like $900 for ads. So I was like, oh, shit. And he was like really writing me almost daily, asking me for help. So I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. And I told him like, hey, let's try this. To be honest, you have really bare any cash, because he wanted to get out of 9 to 5. And what he did, we tested one product, we flopped, we tested another one, it came over, and right now he's from those $900. He had like some side cashing coming from work, right, and stuff like that. So he didn't save much. But the thing is that basically, I would say from $900, he was really able to build that business. And right now he's making around $40,000-$50,000 per month. 20% profit, which is cool, but it was really risky. And what he did right is that he really sort of found someone who made it already big time. And because I connected him with supplier, you know, and that being said, until now he has 0 reserves because he didn't jumpstart it. And that's actually how PayPal calls the reserves. They call it jumpstart. Whenever you scale too fast, they freeze your money, as they did to us, for like 4 or 5 days. Then they don't care. You just have to upload all business documents and everything. And what he did, we rather took it gradually because he didn't even have that cash flow to really jumpstart. So we took it like from 0 to 500, then maintained it for a while, then to 1K, and right now he's at like 2.5, 3K a day with like 10, 15, 20, 25% profit margin, and he still have 0 reserves, which is like crazy. So, but anyway, this is like to give some contrast.
Right
now I'm definitely
And when I say that, like what I had was probably an anomaly too. You know what I mean? Like I was able to, because I had a good job, to have that, and I'm probably a little bit older than some people starting out, and so I'm probably, as you get older, your risk levels tend to be toned back a bit. I think that's me personally. I think as the older you get, when you're young, you're willing to take risks.
Yes, sir. But you're definitely right. It's as you grow older, because you know that you got family, you got wife, you got like house, you got car, and like all those liabilities that cost you money, right? Right now, me, like I'm 24, I have shit to lose. You know, I don't have girlfriend. I just
Nah,
work.
it's in our heads too, though. To be honest, it's in our heads. To be like a lot of it is in our head. You don't need much to live. To be fair, like
No,
let's be honest.
but there's positive risk and then there's negative risk. You know, like it's hard to explain, but I think this is more like the thing. Like the more you're in business, the more you can analyze if the risk is worth it or if it's not worth it.
Yeah.
For example, full on switching to a new supplier when you have a huge volume of orders coming in every day was a completely idiotic risk that we took, and we didn't consider it. And we even did it without ordering the product from him. And later on, we found out that the product was not even on par with the product that we were shipping until then. So also, guys, order the products. It's a lot of people think they can just resell and make a lot of money, and it's this magic model. But it's really important, actually, that you know what you're selling. It sounds so banal, but order the product, have a look at it, know what you're selling, you know, and especially when you're switching suppliers, make sure it's the same. Yeah.
Awesome. Guys, I just realized I can actually show some of the comments up here, but it covers Mark up for a second there. Someone's been wanting to start cash on delivery, but confused as to what the right objective to choose. Guys, you can set any kind of conversion event in Facebook. So a conversion event is just an action taken once someone's gone off a website. So if it's not a purchase event, you can create a new event in Facebook very easily. They've got a tool now that you can literally click on the website and click the URL, whatever you want to do. It's very simple. It's a click and drag kind of a scenario now with the tool, and you can make any event you want. So it's very, very easy.
Yeah, but be careful about cash on delivery. It's definitely a good business model that is unsaturated or way more untapped than the regular dropshipping business. However, the thing is that you will need a lot of cash flow, and you will have a huge return rate, because I saw a guy who was selling to India on cash on delivery. He was making huge money, but his return rate was like 30-40% because people were just not picking up the product, and you can't chase them, you know. And
how are you going to chase them? Yeah, you can't.
And also, it takes you a while to receive the cash, because obviously it's cash on delivery. And so you will need to have some sort of a base foundation, like some money, before you can actually cash in, because again, the process of the cash flow is way slower.
Yep. Guys, if something sounds too good to be true in life, it normally is. It's a pretty simple fact of life.
That's true.
Yeah, and this is another thing we talk about a lot with Marek, and what we agreed on when we started the business together, or when we agreed to cooperate, and that is leave the business in the company, reinvest and grow. Don't make a mistake to make a little bit of money and take it out and buy a fucking Lambo.
No. Oh, geez.
Buy a
You know, it's like a spiral of profit. So
compounding effect.
Keep the money in.
I can draw it here.
Yeah.
It's like the more you reinvest, then the money will start to eventually compound, and it will like skyrocket, you know, because people feel about, is it visible? At least a bit?
A little bit, yeah.
Is it better?
Just describe it.
The point is that people are thinking linearly. People are thinking that it's like, I don't know, you put $1 in, you get two out, and you can take the one out to your, let's say, to your personal expenses or whatever. But the thing is that it doesn't work like that. It works that way. The more initially you leave the basically that you don't take much on out business, and you rather reinvest, then it will start to compound, and then you will basically start to have more cash flow and more flexibility in terms of how much you can scale, because then you will have a larger foundation. And with that being said, then it will like start to skyrocket eventually if you do it right way.
I can tell you, until now, we have not taken a penny out of the company.
Yeah, it's smart.
Building. Yeah.
Guys, if you want to understand what they're saying, just jump on Google and get a compound interest calculator, or go to one where you can track investments, and like even just put in 1,000 as a starting point, and then at an interest rate, and you'll see the line that he's talking about. It's actually amazing. Like the longer it's in there, at the end, the money just compounds so much faster. The jumps are huge towards the end.
Yeah. So think long term.
Yeah. We've got a few more questions here for you guys. So there's a pretty quick one. How many products do you guys have in your store, or multiple stores?
We have a big store.
Yeah.
And we have there, I don't know, 10, 15 products, something like that. And we sell around 3, 4, 5. Basically, what we did is that, and I actually wanted to talk about that because business manager and ad accounts and all that stuff is quite important topic right now. I mean, it's pretty hot topic. So I actually wanted to talk about that for a minute too. But the thing is that we had some troubles in the past. So I will start there and then move on the product, if that makes sense. So let's say that it all started like in August, where we were scaling quite hard with Philip. And the thing is that at one point, I think that it was beginning of August, I was actually visiting Philip at that time, and we noticed that profitability sort of started to dip in. There were days where we lost cash, and we were like, holy shit, what the fuck is wrong with Facebook, you know? And then like a few days after, one of our ad accounts got deactivated. And at that point, we were like running multiple products, and we were spending cash on 2 ad accounts. So we got lucky that only one got deactivated because we still had one running, right? So that's like a possible tip for someone who is scaling hard to diversify the risk by running ads on multiple ad accounts, because whenever something happens, you don't rely on just one single sort of stream of income, let's say. And the thing is, we got ad account deactivated, and what is probably the worst, what I really don't like about Facebook, is that they don't provide you any explanation of what happened. They just told us we were consistently violating Facebook policies, which means that that the ad account is basically deactivated. So we were like, oh shit, that must have been one of our products, because we thought that product is risky. So we removed that product, we stopped advertising it, we started running another ad account so that we again use 2, and we didn't advertise the product. But everything was cool, like 2 weeks gone, and that ad account got deactivated again, that new one that had been running like for like 2 weeks. So we're like, holy shit, what happened? You know, we didn't know what to do because we thought that it's the product, but right now we weren't advertising the product, but we still got deactivated. So at that point we were like, oh my gosh, all right, that's there is something internally wrong. So we stopped running the fragment of products that we have been running on one ad account, and we had another type of product running on the one ad account that was still active the whole time without any issue. So we were like, okay, we will take it easy. We will focus on that type of the product right now and see where we can how we can scale it, how we can maintain the profitability. The profitability was good. We were monetizing on emails because we had huge email list from like a previous months, like a lot of emails. And so we were monetizing there, but then boom, like another shitstorm happened. And sorry if I shouldn't be coursing, but it was really, kind
it's
of
encouraged.
Yeah, it was emotional. So another ad account got deactivated. So we got all 3 ad accounts deactivated, and we haven't been running ads at that point. And we were really just cashing in from emails. So at that point, we really knew that something is terribly internally wrong. And what most people do at that point is that they just create new business manager, they create new ad account and repeat the process. But that was not our approach. Me and Philip, we just like sit and we're like, all right, so we're kind of fucked right now. And on top of that, our business manager got prohibited from advertising. And we weren't even running ads at that point, but Facebook was, how I see it when I'm right now reflecting on that, is that basically it was some sort of a clearance before Q4. Facebook wanted to keep only serious advertisers on the platform before moving on to Q4.
We call it the Facebook apocalypse. So everybody's still in. Congratulations.
Yeah, exactly. Those who are still in the game, congrats. But the point to finish my thought is that we had to get our business manager back. We had to translate our business documents, upload it to Facebook. This whole process kind of takes a while, and because Facebook is quite slow, and there were a lot of inquiries from other advertisers. So what we did, we just got the business manager back eventually, and we read all the policies, like literally from A to Z. I can recommend you guys definitely have a look at facebook.com/ads/policies, and also check Facebook Blueprint. In ads policies, check personal attributes. It's like I think that it's chapter 12 or whatever, and there they very clearly explain what us advertisers were doing wrong the whole time. First off, I have a few notes here, I guess. Let me have a look. Yeah, first off, you can't use...
Make sure you're listening to this. This is good stuff.
Yeah. Make sure to really make notes, because this is really important and can save you a lot of money and can save you a lot of time. So first off, you can't use you in the ad copy by no means. Whether it's in titles, whether it's in ad copy, don't use you. The thing is that the user who you are targeting, when you say you, and I'm talking to you, people can feel offended based on what Facebook explained us, which is like it's entitled 100, but it's kind of
psychologically it allegedly makes people feel personally attacked potentially. Yeah, exactly.
And so there was like you. Then you can't use sort of excessive skin on the video and excessive body parts. So it's really tricky. And the thing is that sometimes, I don't know, maybe you can even show a guy who has white teeth. He's just like smiling, showing his teeth, and Facebook algorithm can be triggered and deactivate or disapprove your ad because it feels like you were trying to make someone feel insecure about their teeth. So it's kind of tricky. But excessive body parts and zoomed body parts in general. I mean, excessive skin and zoomed body parts. Those like 3 crucial things to avoid. And then just check personal attributes, because this one is actually it's not even that long. It will take you a while to read. It's boring, but it's absolutely vital right now to be policy compliant.
Yeah, I made the mistake of using the word deceased in an ad the other week, and my ad account got banned immediately.
Yeah, it's kind of, as I said, or as we said, or as we agreed, it was like a Facebook apocalypse and Q4 clearance. However, on the other hand, when you think about it, right now, there was a lot of advertisers who got prohibited from advertising, meaning that there will be less competition. On the other hand, so the fittest survive, and if you really make sure that you are policy compliant, right now you will be cashing in really well, because November is absolutely best month of the whole year. At least that's the way I see it, because for us dropshippers, we can't advertise that much in December because of the delivery length, right? But the thing is that in November, you can now really scale fast. So if you guys are about to take some risk, do it now, because right now is the best time of the year.
Yeah. And with the ad account stuff, guys, the same thing goes for Google. You can get your ad account banned in Google quite easily by using certain words. Google's big on trademarks. So if you are selling anything and you use the word like iPhone or Google or Louis Vuitton or anything like that, and if you are selling things that are trademarked or are copies of things, Google's really smart at knowing that it's a fake, a fake Gucci this or fake that. It knows. It's very, very smart. Yeah. So if you use words like that, like if any sort of trademark or using Google's a big one. They automatically will ban that. Especially because I was doing ads for an SEO place and I wanted to use the word Google, that you're going to rank higher in Google. And the moment I use Google, so it's It's the same thing.
There's also one thing maybe that connects to what Marek said, and I think this is like we discussed a lot with Marek, and that is that dropshippers watch a lot of dropshippers imitate what dropshippers do, and and the way you talk to customers, it doesn't have to be so pushy and so super hardcore salesy with you, and you have to and blah blah blah. If you want to know how to communicate, look at the big brands. You know, if you have a good product, let the product do the lifting. You know, use the benefits of the product and explain what it does, and it can sell. You don't have to be super hard and super pushy and super personal in the ad copy. It doesn't mean your creative is not going to be creative, but creative also can mean that you just find a very beautiful angle how to show the product that other people don't use, and so on. So actually, what we realize now, also with Marek, based on what happened, is actually you can tune down a lot on all of this dropshipping vibe in your copy, and still sell very well, if not even better. You know.
Yeah, 100% agree. And actually, if we check our ads, it really feels like we're a brand right now. It really feels like that we're no dropshippers anymore. And I bet that no one would say that if they saw our ad, they wouldn't tell that it's a dropshipping store. They would say that really it's a established brand, or it's like some serious company.
No,
So,
I've seen your creative, guys. It's very, very good. It's
Can always be better.
don't be so German.
yeah.
Don't be so German.
What gets you there?
That's awesome. I'll double check to see if anyone else had questions that we didn't answer. Here's a good one. How did you guys meet and decide to team up together?
I guess there's two angles to the story. So for me, I try to develop a business in dropshipping. I found a product. I had a store. I knew that the product was a winner because I got some early sales, but it was already late summer, and I knew that I have to be ready to scale for autumn. But on Facebook terms, my learning curve wasn't quite where it should have been already. And I knew that, and I was aware of that weakness, and I didn't want to waste half a year or 1 year on the learning curve. So I was actually looking for somebody to mentor me, and that was Marek. Then with the mentoring, I found out actually that we complete each other very well, and I offered him a partnership. It's that simple.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's the power of the internet, hey? How cool is that?
Yeah. And then like half year gone, and I was spending like I think it was on 25th of December, and I already arrived to Philip, and we celebrated. And so yeah, pretty cool story.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Besides the copyright infringement.
So that's another. It's somehow that's another advice I would give. You know, it's another business decision you have to make, is whether you want to waste the money on a learning curve, which can be a smart decision. But if you have a good product, you know, maybe save the time, bring somebody in. If you have the capital, which I did.
Yeah. Well, I think you just need to look at chain restaurants, the ones that go crazy. They bring in a partner, they give them half their business for free, and that person explodes their business for them. That's how most chains start and go massive.
Yeah, it's like be aware of your weaknesses, and you can see them as a potential. You know, if you complement them with somebody. You know.
Yeah. I'd say one caution to that is don't be lazy at the same time either, because a lot of people go, I've got this business idea. It's not really a business idea. It's bullshit, because people message me these all day. I've got this business idea. Do you want to partner up? If it's not a real business idea and the person's smart, they're going to know it's not a business idea. So don't even bother trying.
Yeah, that's true. And I want to feel like this is how business works, you know. And for me, the only concern right now in the dropshipping industry is that there is shit ton of people trying to sell you their services, and they're kind of not capable of what they're saying they are, and like that's why people are sort of scrutinized or like maybe skeptical when it comes to investing, right? Of course, that there are like legit guys like Gabriel Saint Germain and those really big guys who are really sort of smashing the dropshipping industry. But as you can see, I believe in saying like talkers talk, doers do, you know?
Yeah.
And when, as you can see, like Gabriel right now didn't post YouTube for like several months because I guess that he's just either busy smashing some ladies with all the cash that he made,
Yeah.
or he's like really focusing on scaling like other dropshipping stores, maybe like even moving to rather private labeling, because it's really every time someone starts to do a dropshipping business, you can't think of it long term. You have to, again, we are again back into long term. You really have to think long term because you want to make like a long sustainable stream of income, right? You don't have to just launch your store, made, I don't know, 100K, and then just launch another one. And that's what many people do. However, if you sit and think in terms of your business and your store as a brand, and you're like, all right, so I got this niche, this product, it's selling well, then it's time to actually get in touch with some supplier. And by the way, if there is anyone who is looking for a reliable supplier, me and Philip, we have a really good contact that we are willing to share. So if you guys are interested to get really like good supplying agent for Q4 and even onwards, just hit us a message. We will connect you. There's like no affiliate link, nothing. It's just that this guy is in China. He's really friendly. He's giving better prices than AliExpress, and his shipping time is up to 2 weeks. Right now, actually, what I saw is that the shipping time is close to between 4 and 8 business days, which is like absolutely perfect, right?
Yeah.
And the thing about the agent is that once you have an agent and you establish a real relationship with that agent, you can private label your product like in no time, and it will increase the perceived value of your brand. You will be able to charge more, and people will be happier. They will get back to you. They will purchase from you again, and the whole value of the company sort of increases. So that's like a really sort of big one, to really think long term and focus on building a brand, not just a regular store.
And then there's maybe one whole more aspect to what we just discussed about the partnership and who is complementing each other and what. And guys, this is what I always want to also tell people: is don't just focus on Facebook. There's great other sources for traffic right now. Check out Pinterest. There's unbelievably low cost per click right now. You have to make sure you get a good quality of traffic. Figure out the targeting. But my opinion is right now Pinterest is very interesting because this is where Facebook was maybe 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm not a fan of that because I'm obviously the one running ads, but it's definitely a good point. Because because the thing is that especially if someone is new right now, Facebook can be really tricky. And again, we are getting back to the learning curve. It can really take you a year to really get good in sort of mastering the Facebook and the creative side and everything. So definitely, we've been testing Pinterest. Philip was taking care of it, and like the cost per clicks we were getting were like insane, like really low, like compared to Facebook ads, where if right now at our level we have really optimized funnel, we have really well done creative, so our cost per click is like let's say 0.5, $0.67, something like that, which is way above average, especially considering our product cost and product selling price. However, Pinterest, there was like 10 cents for click, 10 cents. So maybe sometimes even less, right? So that's like
the lowest bid, which is 10 cents. And we got it constantly because if you work a little bit on the targeting and the right interest, you can get unbelievable clicks.
Yeah, that's for sure.
No, I think there's a lot of people wanting to try Pinterest now. We've got quite a few comments here and a lot of people interested in the supplier details. So I'll leave your details in the group, guys, so people can get in touch with you. We do have another comment. I think it's for Philip. Someone goes, let me just bring it up on the screen and show it. When I had my product and brand, I found that shooting and creating content was my biggest issue, as I'm not the most creative person. Does Philip have any suggestions?
Yeah, it depends on, of course, on the product. But first of all, I love my wife's iPhone. Very high quality, so forget about camera and so on. A good quality iPhone like X Max, XS Max is enough. Then I would recommend use a tripod. Then it depends on, of course, what kind of product you have, you know. But basically, it's like you can go from the most simple thing, you can go to the most advanced thing. The most simple thing is just to shoot a sexy picture or a sexy video. But the most simple sexy picture is against a white backdrop. It depends, of course, on the size of your product. But my suggestion is get studio lights, photo lights for $100 and buy a big piece of white carton, bend it against the wall, and what you will have is basically semi-professional photo studio where you can shoot products against an endless white background. That's like the most simple thing I can tell. And then it really depends on your product, on the size of your products. Our products are not that big, so this is how always the first stage of how we shoot them. Second stage is shoot things outside. I like to shoot things in the nature. I like to, because if you have a product, the only thing you can add is the background, right? The context of the product. So
I think you need to show people your background there. You need to show people where you are.
Maybe I would. Oh yeah, everyone.
No. Put it somewhere where actually the background makes the product look sexy as fuck. Okay, so you have something simple. Put it somewhere where the background is moving, where there's a river, where there's, you understand what I mean? When you crop it properly, and it will look amazing, because that's what big brands do as well. The only thing you can do is like put your product in context with something. And whatever you put your product in context with is going to generate that feel or that size of your brand. You know, if let's say, I don't know, even if you sell an umbrella and you poke it somewhere into the big brand. You know what I mean? You hang it on a branch or whatever, and you shoot it sexy with a river flowing in the background. It's going to look completely different than an umbrella that somebody is holding. If you understand what I mean, it's really a weird way to explain it, but that will be my tip for.
I remember I did a helicopter fishing trip for this brand that I worked for to shoot new products. So we were actually fishing from a helicopter, and we were filming and stuff. It was so cool. But like, obviously, you don't need to go to that extent. But it was awesome to just.
Yeah, you can do really cool things only if you think about it a little bit and you just give it a little bit. We call it give it a little bit of love. You know?
Yeah.
I would say like a few more tips how to basically get better and get more creative, because like I would start by simply checking dropshipping ads, like those that are successful from the past. So you can go to search, you can use, I don't know, some keywords and find some really good dropshipping ads that have some sort of reaction or some history. Let's say 10,000.
It's a really good one at the moment. It's a free tool, and it will show you everyone's ads. It's totally free. It's called Big Spy. If you do exactly what you're saying, you put it in a Big Spy, it's going to show you all these ads.
Yep, and that's why. And you can start from there. And not that you would just, it's like rather to get inspired, to see which one is doing well, which one is doing bad. Check those that are doing well, subtract the information, and then do it on your own. Because even just the fact that you have your own custom content makes a whole difference, because then you are 100% sure that your material is, haven't been seen before on the Facebook, right? So people react to it. And the thing is that those algorithms read your mind better than you do. They know when you're angry, they know when you're like anxious, how much time, second, whatever, what you likes and stuff like that. So the thing is that when someone is watching ad that has been watched several times, that has been like viral on the internet, and you just pick that content and use it, people will not react, because they're like, I already do that, right? Exactly. And if you can even take the same product but with different creative, and there will be like, that's interesting, and that's what we're doing.
This is so true. I made a small list of tips for people who are interested in general, like how we approach shooting. Some of the things may be obvious to you. It depends on the level that you're at, but if you want, I can just share it with you. So first thing that I wrote down, which is like in my opinion, a lot of people maybe don't consider this, but because all of us have like a big screen in front of us right now, I think nobody's watching on their phone. Everybody's in front of their laptop, right? At least, or in front of the computer. But if you edit a video, or even if you edit a static ad for somebody, you should edit in the size that the person is going to view it.
Yeah.
It means if you are going to make a video ad for Facebook, you make it so small that your eyes will burn when you're done editing, because you make it small, even smaller than the mobile, than the square would be on your mobile screen, and that should be the size in which you edit, because it will have completely different implications concerning the size of product, how big you have to zoom into the product, where you're going to place your titles, how big your titles are going to be. I think a lot of people might be making the mistake that they have a big screen, so they edit on big screen, and then they're wondering maybe why their ad is not converting, and the reason is that 90% of their people, of their target group, are seeing the ad on mobile, and it's completely not edited for that medium. So that's one thing. So that's one thing, and the second thing is, this is more like a general dropshipping approach. What Marek basically just said also now is like, we don't really believe that winners are just found on AliExpress, but we believe that winners are made. It means you can have a product which maybe either it can be saturated already, or it is not discovered yet, or the product as itself, if you just put it somewhere, maybe it will not sell so well. But if you give it the love and you put it into context and you make it relevant for your target group,
create a story.
You know them, and you create a story that they will react to, suddenly you may have a winner.
Yeah.
This is why we always think about the winners are made, and it's not all just about grazing those apps for whatever that, I don't even look for these kind of things, but these winner spy apps and all of that stuff.
It's bullshit. I mean, the only thing some of them are good for is, like you said, inspiration. That's it.
Yeah.
Inspiration of what. Yeah.
Know your niche, know your target group, know what they react to, and then look with that mindset for something that can be relevant for them, and what kind of story or spin you can give it to make it a winner. You know, including the look of your content, including the argumentation, and so on. And suddenly you will also be somewhere else than everybody else in the community, because you will not be chasing winners. You will be making your own for the niche you have decided to function.
Awesome.
Then I wrote down that this is one thing I really like, and I kind of discovered it because I have a lot of apps on my phone, and we were also in the situation that we wanted to test the product, but we didn't have it yet, and shipping it takes a month. So we only had the Ali pics, but actually we wanted to test video content. But if you don't have video content, you can just edit a couple of pics behind each other. That's what everybody would do. But what you can do is you can actually create your own video content based on pics, which is a little bit like a crutch, but it can actually look very sexy. There's two apps which I like to use, which one is Verbal, if you know it, WERBLE, and the other one is called Pixaloop. And how it works is you upload a static pic, and you can overlay it with effects. You should check it out, look at all the effects. So what happens is you upload the static pic, you overlay it with effects that can be relevant or fit the product or dramatize it, and then you can export it as a video or as a GIF. You send it back to your computer, and then you edit it in Camtasia. You do that with different photos of the pic, and you edit it together, including the static pics, and suddenly you can have a 20-second vid of a product that was previously super unsexy and static, and you'll have something that you can test as a video. So I really, really love these two apps, and as a beginner editing suite, I would recommend Camtasia. I'm also into Final Cut, but for the general editing, I like to use Camtasia because it's simple. And for special effects that I cannot find in Camtasia, I use Final Cut and then re-import into Camtasia and finish the job there. Apart from that, it's good to have if you create titles for a product, I like to call it like what you're building within these titles is like a sales argumentation, right? You have a hook, then you have what the product is about, then you go into what it can do, and then you come to the closing. So what you're basically building is like a line of argumentation of titles. once you feel that you have a line of argumentation of titles that works, you can actually, if the argumentation step by step, the steps are generic enough, you can copy paste it to any future project and basically just adjust the content of the title, and it will save you a lot of work, because you can basically just smack new video content under these titles, adjust the titles, and you have a new video for a new product for testing. Later on, of course, you can refine, but that's something that really helps. And another thing you can do, that's the last thing I'm going to say. Maybe some of these things are obvious, but I don't know what level you guys are on. So I really,
I think they're really good. They're all good points.
Is play around with split screen as well. In Camtasia, you can crop the video. You can crop the video content to half screen. Let's say if you have a square screen, and so you can split it into half, and you can have video content on the top, static content on the bottom. It means by splitting the screen, you can get more aspects of the product across in a shorter time. And obviously, people on Facebook are not super patient, so it's kind of good to try that as well, depending on the product. Yeah.
No, that's awesome tips.
Art directing. Art directing.
When's a YouTube channel coming, man?
God level of art directing, I said.
Oh, good. Yeah, it's kind of obvious things, but maybe for some people it's not so obvious. So this pixel loop can really help. Camtasia is very good editing suite. So you just take from it whatever you like. But what I really recommend, my biggest pet peeve, and we were discussing this a lot with Marek, we were laughing about it because we think for most people it should be obvious, but edit in the size for which it is intended.
No, that's super important.
Yeah.
The actual amount of conversions you're going to get on desktop is very minimal.
Yes, absolutely.
And especially the first interaction is normally always on mobile. First, you do get the people that convert, that see it first on mobile and then convert on desktop. But
and Pinterest, if you scroll through Pinterest and you see the ads and you see how small is a video square on Pinterest, it will have even bigger implications than on Facebook, because it's about a quarter of the size of a Facebook video. So there, the editing has to be completely different, and it's much more extreme in the end effect.
Yeah, and I bet most people are just carrying across what they've been using on Facebook and just putting it on Pinterest.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Exhausted from the speech.
Yeah, that's so good. I reckon we'll probably wrap it up soon, guys. Anyway, let you guys get back into it.
Yeah, I can see it's 57 minutes in.
Yeah, man, we've had a good chat. So any last questions, guys? And I think we'll let the guys get back into it. They've got a busy day, no doubt.
Oh,
yeah, no question about that.
I hope we didn't bore you guys with things that are obvious.
No, I don't think so. I think people have liked it. I think we'll drop the details for the agent, and I'll leave them your details. And if you have a list of those points that you have in dot point form, I think people would like that as well, man. Like, obviously, if you haven't got them, no pressure, but I think they were all good points that people would like. And if we could just paste them in the group, I think people would enjoy that. Yeah.
For you, maybe by the end of the day. Because
there's no, like I said, there's absolutely no rush at all. If you have them, you have them. If not, if you don't.
I have it just like as fragments, just as people.
That's okay. All good. Well, thanks so much for your time, guys. It was awesome to chat.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was a pleasure, and we can do them more often.
No, for sure. I've really enjoyed it, man. The hour's flown by.
Let us know in the comments if you want to hear more of our cursing.
You
don't, fuck you.
Yeah, I have to get better at that.
No, did you see Dan Henry, who always curses? Do you know Dan Henry, the marketer?
No, but I know Gary Vee is like cursing all the time throughout the Instagram.
Yeah, Dan Henry was a big cursor, right? And he met someone, and he's kind of turned it into a story. So I don't know how true it is, but he's put a bit of marketing spin on it. And he has vowed to no longer curse in his content. He thinks it cheapens him.
I think cursing replaces a doctor.
That's it.
I have maybe one more thing that we discussed with Marek, which can be a real nugget for some people if they're already like the middle size of the development of their business, and that is to watch out for 2 Facebook metrics, and one is customer rating on Facebook, and the second one is response rate on Facebook. Facebook basically, depending on how you're performing on these 2 metrics, that's our theory or my theory. I'm still debating it with Marek. Based on these 2 metrics, Facebook allows you to scale or will not allow you to scale, because if you are bad in customer response time and if you are bad in customer feedback, these 2 metrics show Facebook that you are not able to properly handle more traffic without giving people a bad experience on Facebook. So if you want to scale, take care of these 2 metrics, and you will see maybe positive effect on your cost per click on everything. Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Agreed.
Okay, agreed?
Agreed.
Yes, sir. No, but seriously, it's a very good point, especially customer feedback, because the thing is that there are certain levels. Once you're above 2, it's good. Once you're below 2, I mean between 1 and 2, you're penalized and your ads will be going lower. It will be higher. It will be more costly for you. Once you're below 1, your domain get prohibited and your business is fucked.
Yeah. Apart from that, we are right now aiming for a fast responder badge on our account, and we're almost there. Because awesome. If you have it, you know that these 2 metrics are tip top, and it's very likely that kind of Facebook will let you scale much more than if Facebook perceives you as not providing a good customer experience.
Love it. All right, awesome. Thank you, guys. I don't think anyone's got any more questions. We've probably held you up long enough, but yeah, if you guys want to see more, I'm happy to bring the guys on whenever they want to come. I'm always happy to chat to them. Good fun. Maybe next time we'll do it while we're windsurfing, hey?
Kitesurfing, absolutely. Oh, damn.
It's been awesome, man. I get up in the morning. I literally walk down there. I jump in the ocean. I come back. I jump in the spa. It's the best way to wake up.
Yeah. Flipping course, Nick.
Hey.
In front of your door.
I know. I've got to do it. There's actually a school literally probably 150 meters up the road. There's people teaching. Yeah.
Hey, I will go there now every day. And next time Nick will post pictures of him kitesurfing everybody.
Oh, well, next time we'll try to do it during the day so I can go down there. You know, the other problem is the ocean's actually quite loud here. Like you can hear the waves. It's that close.
Wow.
We got to visit you at some point.
Yeah, man, come anytime.
Okay, next video call is from Nick's jacuzzi.
Done. No one wants to see my hairy chest.
It means that you're a guy, you know. That's how it is.
I'm a bear. You know, people hate it in jiu-jitsu. It's coming into summer, so in winter I'll wear a Under Armour rashi underneath the gi. In summer I don't wear that, so people just get the chest hair.
At least you're warm in winter, you know, when you're traveling. It's like, holy crazy.
I get cold.
All right.
All right. Thanks heaps, guys. I'll chat to you soon.
Yeah. Thanks. Take care and have a nice day.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.